we're live. Hello, YouTube. Say hi, guests.
Hello.
Hi, guests.
We're on
Hello,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. Looks like Ryan and Vance are there. I hope you guys are doing all right tonight. We've got some cool stuff to talk about tonight. Some Walt Disney World news, some movie news, some other Disney news. So lots of fun stuff. The biggest thing we're going to talk about is the Starcruiser. So get strapped in, I guess, right? So
I think a slew is what you described. You had
a slew
of
things. I actually will use that word again. So be ready. I'll probably laugh when I say it too.
It's the word of the night. Slew.
So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started because we got lots to do. So I'm going to count us in, and then I'll be able to do the podcast later to put it all together. So
Awesome.
3, 2. Hello and welcome to iamGEEK. This is episode 204. I'm Catron, and I'm joined by two very special guests. Ryan and Chris are spending time with their family, so I've called upon some of our favorite guests. First, he's an animator who has worked on projects such as Jimmy Neutron, The Book of Life, Sherlock Gnomes, and a slew of video games. Please welcome animator Ray Chase. How are you doing, Ray?
Oh wait, that's me.
That's you.
I'm doing good, man.
Good.
I'm looking forward to talking about a slew of things.
A slew of things. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. So our next guest, our next guest travels daily to a galaxy far, far away and works in the most magical place on Earth, Walt Disney World. Please welcome our favorite broom boy, Winchester. Rising Moons, Winchester, how are you?
Rising Moon's doing all right. Just losing some credits on some pod races. That's about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for being here. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Street family. But I'm really excited about tonight's show topic. So let's get this party started. So tonight we're talking about the recent announcements from Walt Disney World about the Galactic Starcruiser, the Halcyon. I'm actually proud I said it correctly.
Yeah.
I've been struggling with making sure that I say Halcyon correctly. So I'm proud. I was like, am I going to say but I said Halcyon.
That's usually how I say it.
Yeah. But I had to look it up. I was like, how do you say Halcyon? But anyways, so first we're going to talk about some movies and some other news. So this week, tomorrow, Free Guy comes out. Just to theaters, not streaming. So what do y'all think about?
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about the movie?
Well, I mean, obviously I haven't seen it yet, but after this whole Scarlett Johansson thing with the premiere access, go for it. Wear a mask inside, watch a movie, sit next to some sweaty people, and just enjoy your popcorn.
Enjoy being a free guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's favorite non-playable character. So
Yeah.
I think the movie looks fun.
Yeah.
it does look fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. They've had some great promos for it and kept it really interesting. And I've heard it's better than Ready Player One, and Ready than Wreck-It Ralph is what they're saying. Which it's probably somebody just pushing the movie, trying to get people to go see it. But I think it'll be good. I'm fine with it being in theaters only. We've been to the theaters a couple times recently, and it's been fine because a lot of, if you go to the ones with the recliners these days, those are pretty well separated. Especially if you're sitting with people, it makes it a little bit easier, and people just aren't going, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Go to the theater.
Now, do we know, is it coming to Disney Plus like after 45 days? Because I thought I heard that it's in theaters for at least 45 days. And so I was like, okay, so then is it coming?
Is it coming to? Is it a Disney movie? I don't even know.
I think it's
It is.
Fox,
Disney does
right?
own Fox. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Fox. Okay.
Disney Springs had a big thing for it this morning because I was there this morning for
cool.
50th anniversary merchandise. They had a donut truck out front for it. Yeah.
Nice. So, yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be fun to go to. I'm excited about it. I do have a free movie pass I haven't used yet, so maybe that will be the one. I know my son has seen the preview. He's 10. I don't know that I should take him um, but
Was it PG-13 or is it R?
it
I
may.
doubt it's R.
I don't think it's R
Okay.
actually. Now I think about
Yeah.
it. So maybe you could, but I'd
You
probably
see
want to see
Ryan
it first.
Reynolds and just get scared. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh
Ryan
no,
Reynolds.
Deadpool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we'll see, but I think it'll be good. I love video games. That's the premise behind the movie. If you're not familiar,
Hmm.
he's a character in a video game and he doesn't realize it, and then all of a sudden he finds out. So it's kind of like Truman Show in a way,
Yeah.
but it's much cooler because he gets to do all this cool stuff and with guns, and he doesn't die. He can't die, so that's interesting. But
I did read something, I think with the director, maybe, saying that if it does well, they have ideas to like kind of do either spin-offs or
oh
sequels
yeah,
or do other things within this world. So I've been trying to avoid like trailers and so forth because I feel like, they always show too much.
yeah,
So I thought that was kind of interesting that, it's might be a world that they can explore, should the movie do fine.
yeah. That's true. It could open up for a lot more. So definitely going to see it. So Jungle Cruise came out a couple weeks ago. We haven't talked about this on the show yet. I loved the movie. Did you? You guys have both seen it, right? Did you all love
I
it?
have
Oh,
not,
you haven't
but
seen it. I forgot. You're
no, it's
such.
fine. Go right on
We
ahead.
won't go into
I
it
was say
because
I have no plan on seeing it
I
You
because
don't?
I have a very unpopular opinion about The Rock. So
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Well,
yeah,
that's okay. I
yeah,
have the same unpopular opinion. I don't like movies with The Rock in it.
I'm
yeah,
getting verklempt.
I know.
because he only plays himself.
It,
It's like, hey, here's $1 million. Be
I
yourself in a movie.
now there somebody listed a couple movies and I was like, well, I kind of like that movie. I can't think of what they
Mm.
were right now, so it's whatever. But um, this one didn't feel like a Rock movie so much to me. I mean, there's a couple of
Yeah.
things like he busts through something or he's fighting somebody and he's but you don't see the people's eyebrow. I don't think.
I don't think you do.
Which in he even did the people's eyebrow in what was it, the Scorpion King? I think
Uh-huh.
he
And
did it in there.
Jumanji. Yeah.
Yeah, in Jumanji. So it didn't have that. It didn't feel like a Rock movie to me.
But it's a
Um,
jungle film, and
it's a
he's
jungle film.
contractually obligated to be in every single jungle movie that is made. So I was not surprised that The Rock was in
Yeah.
it. But,
I liked it. A lot of people said this, but it did feel like The Mummy and
hmm.
Pirates of the Caribbean mixed together.
They
You
had
got
a baby. Yes.
treasure hunting and monsters or ghosts or whatever you want to call them. So
Hmm.
it's very good. So no
I,
spoilers, but
yeah. I saw a review that said that you know the supernatural element with the conquistadors. They felt that it was a rejected idea from a Pirates of the Caribbean movie that they never made. And they were like, hey, we're making this Jungle
I
Book
could
movie. Let's
see
put it in that.
yeah
Um, yeah, I mean, there was
yeah
definitely vibes like that, but at the same time, I
yeah
kind of enjoyed. I mean, I just enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I personally
yeah.
really enjoy The Rock. I like The Rock. I mean, I know what you're saying, but
You're
I
a
kind of feel
vibe.
like it's that Owen Wilson sort of charisma, where I feel like Owen Wilson is kind of he's Owen Wilson and everything.
That's true.
And so
Yeah
it's kind of, but I like Owen Wilson. I think Owen Wilson's great, and I kind of feel that way with The Rock. So I felt like the chemistry that he had with Emily Hunt,
yeah.
and oh my
It's great.
gosh, I forgot the guy who played the
Jack
brother.
Whitehall. Jack Whitehall.
Yes, I
Yeah
thought the three of them were really, really entertaining together,
yeah
which was another thing that kind of reminded me of Pirates because I felt like the cast in Pirates of the Caribbean. I guess loved everybody. I thought everybody was great, and they worked so well together. So, yeah, it felt like a little bit like this movie or a little bit like that
yeah.
movie, but it was just so fun to just
Oh, it
kind
was
of
so
watch
much fun.
them go through and have their little banters and so forth. It was a good time.
And there were a lot of call outs to the ride, right? A lot of
Yeah, there were.
things. I won't go, spoil any of that, but it definitely you knew it was about the ride. If you don't aren't familiar with the ride, then you won't think some of the things are funny that happens.
Yeah.
But there's and then of course there's a lot of references, to different characters in the ride and different names that you see in the ride or at the in the queue and things like that. So um, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that I watched it in the theater because I have to wait to watch it again because I'm not paying for it again. I paid $40 for my family to see it,
Eh,
and but at the same time, I really enjoyed it at the theater. I wish I had seen it in 3D because you could tell in some ways it was built for 3D. Like they
there was a
played
couple
with the
moments where I was like,
whoa.
"Whoa, I think it's coming right at
I know.
me." Yeah,
So that's cool. But I'm really excited for that one to come to Disney Plus for free.
I paid $30, so now I
I
can watch it
know,
anytime.
I know, but man, it was really cool in theater because a lot of sounds and effects
Mhm.
that made it really cool. Because my TV with TV speakers and kind of 4K wouldn't do it justice. So
Yeah, yeah.
um,
There's some
so
cool shots in there too,
yeah,
with some sweeping, cameras and stuff over
yeah,
the boats and some of those more adventurous moments. But
yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean, I would love. I really hope. 'Cause I was telling my daughter it would be cool if they leaned into sort of the SEA organization that's within like
Oh,
the Disney
see.
parks. Yeah,
Yeah.
or the Adventurers Club or something, and
oh
kind of
yeah,
like in sequels and so forth, perhaps kind of spiral into more Adventureland
sure.
um, lore and attractions and kind of bring some of that in there. That'd be kind of cool to kind of expand the world instead of, well, it's another jungle adventure. It's,
Yeah,
maybe take it a little bit of a different direction and kind of open up some of that cool Disney lore that exists at other parks and
for sure.
in the past and so forth. But
Yeah, yeah, they did really well with it, and I think they could expand with other movies for sure.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, speaking of Disney Plus and movies coming to Disney Plus, it's Cruella becomes free for all of us subscribers August 27th. Did you all see
Mm.
this movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
And I
That one
I
I
really
didn't
enjoyed it.
see, but I
yeah,
heard people say that they really liked it.
yeah. Same thing. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's great. You said you saw it, Winchester? Did you like it?
Yeah, it really diverted expectations because you're just like, oh no, it's just gonna get another live action Disney rehashing.
Sure.
Like, oh, it's gonna be another Cinderella, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be terrible. And it's like, oh, it's like she's good. What?
You want me to like her?
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
sure. It's just a whole bunch of mischief that turns into endearment, and you just really go on a ride throughout the entire thing. I know
Hmm.
it's, but like very fashion heavy as Cruella should be,
Sure. Yeah.
and you learn about the Dalmatians without really seeing Dalmatians. So
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the one thing I heard is like no, but there were no puppies. Where are the puppies?
there's a few, just not 101.
Not a hundred.
Yeah,
So that I mean that it opens up for more movies for one to understand. So I don't know.
it would be
I'm
so
curious
good
to
if it
see
got
it.
a sequel.
So I can't wait to see it. So
You guys saw the Deadpool thing when he was watching the trailer for I think
yes,
Free Guy with Korg, and
Yeah.
then he says, "Did you
yes,
check out my review for Cruella?" And he's sitting there with a Dalmatian.
yeah.
It's like, where are the effing
Where are
dogs?
the I think that's must be where I heard that. Yeah, that I remember that now. That was so great. Did he actually do a Cruella review, or is that just I
I
don't know.
don't think he did because I
I
went
don't.
looking for it, and
It
he.
may just be a one-off. It's
I
like,
think,
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be great. I mean, I think
Oh
people would
gosh.
watch that to watch Deadpool review all
Oh.
those
Well,
movies,
the thing is, and this might be tangenting
trailers.
a little bit, but to go along with your
That's
slew of
fine.
things to talk about, I think it would be awesome if Deadpool did stuff like that.
Yes, exactly.
Did reviews of like upcoming Disney movies like The
Yeah,
Jungle Cruise, or even start like kind of doing like little riffs on like the Loki series and
yeah.
Marvel stuff and stuff like that because it's super entertaining. It's just so
It
fun
is, and
watching Ryan Reynolds just go off,
it would also kind of introduce more people to Ryan Reynolds because
And
now
yeah.
that it's part of Disney, there's a chance we might see him, and there's a lot of people that are Disney fans and maybe MCU fans, but never really watched Deadpool because it's a little different than the stuff that's on Disney, right? A lot different. So
Yeah.
it kind of eases them into it, maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it was definitely funny.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
So there was also a show that premiered this week, and I made you guys watch it You didn't want to watch it. I'm sure. No, I'm just kidding. What If, the series from Marvel and the MCU, and we learn about the Watcher and the multiverse for the MCU, which the multiverse is not a new thing, right? It's something that's been in comics and also been in the DC universe. We watched it with Flash and all of that, but it's kind of new for MCU, and we saw a lot of it in the Loki series, right? That's when we realized, like, oh, that's probably what If is going to be like. It's like this multiverse of things. So what if something was a little bit different? So without going into spoilers about the show, we can just kind of talk vaguely about it. But the idea is, what if one thing was different in the story? How does it change the story, right? And the first episode, everybody knows it's about Agent Carter, and she's in this British-looking uniform that's supposed to be like Captain America. So the thing we find out, because this is I guess the only spoiler, is that she's called Captain Carter, right, and not Captain Britain, because that's what my family was trying to figure out, is like, what is she going to be called, and is it Captain Great Britain? That doesn't roll off the tongue. No. But so you guys saw it. What did you think of that show?
I was gonna say, Ray, go ahead. I was gonna say, I like to wrap things up.
Oh, okay. Ray, what did you think of the show?
Yeah, Ray, from an animator's standpoint, because I'm really interested in hearing your opinion.
Well, I mean, from an animation standpoint, I thought it was really, really well done. If I was going to be nitpicky, the lip sync kind of bothered me. Yeah. There was just moments when they were talking, I was like, their mouths are not going with the words. What is happening here? But the visual style was really, really cool. I even commented to my son, we were watching it together, about how it felt like a graphic novel kind of come to life, you know? And there was some really beautiful shots, some action shots. Without going into spoilers, particularly towards the end where she's like jumping and she kind of goes across the moon. If you guys remember that moment, just really, really cool and sort of iconic imagery. And so I was enjoying that. I thought all of the visuals were super cool. And the story I thought was pretty neat. Obviously, it's a little bit different because, like you said, Catron, one choice kind of changes everything. So it was kind of fun to see similarities to the first Avenger, with some differences and some modifications because of the different choice that caused the I guess the butterfly effect that kind of changes everything down the line. But I mean, I was left wanting more at the end of it. I was like, I cannot wait to watch next week's episode. That was super cool. And Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher, he's just the perfect voice. He's just so cool.
That was great. Yeah, it was. It was really well done, and it was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Like I wasn't sure what to expect.
It felt pretty good. Yeah.
Like it almost, when you saw the idea for the show and you saw the preview, it almost felt like it was going to be this short little 3-minute thing, like they do with these shorts, right, or whatever, or 6 minutes, whatever. And it was like a full over 30 minutes. I mean, almost 40 minutes, I think, long, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I would watch that a whole year of it, whatever. It's like
I'd watch a movie. I'd watch a movie of that. If they did a movie of that, and sort of in that sort of, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Spider-Verse. I was like, oh, cool, they're doing some, like a cool visual style for this. That's really neat. I'd watch a whole movie of Captain Carter in that style. I mean, that would be awesome.
I'm hopeful the rest is this good. I mean, it could be my favorite of the Marvel shows that have come out, I think, if it continues this way.
And it'll only get more interesting.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
It was the one that I was looking forward to the most. I mean, I enjoyed Loki and I enjoyed the ones that came before, but What If was the one where I was like, when's it coming out? I really want to watch this because it looks amazing.
Because this is something they announced when they announced Disney Plus. And it is finally coming out like a year and a half later, almost 2 years. So
it's crazy.
And they got most of the MCU voice cast, right? Like the MCU live cast. Yeah. So I was gonna say, my 2 words, my goodness. Like mind blown, my goodness.
Yeah.
It's just so much. Because a Nexus event or something. Is that what they say in Loki, where it's just like, this is why you were
Yeah.
taken away? It's like, this was your Nexus event.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's your Nexus event. It just makes everything shatter. Oh no, we're approaching red line. So
Yeah, there was definitely some things that happened that I didn't expect, and there was a little bit. There was one thing that happened. I was kind of curious why they did it. I wish I could talk about it, but
we could say spoilers.
I think I think a little bit. This isn't too much a spoiler.
It's a little spoiler.
Steve
everybody.
Rogers, yeah, spoilers,
Oh, yeah.
small spoiler. So Steve Rogers is still in the show. He doesn't, he's not Captain America. That's obvious. But something else. He's still in there in the story, and I was kind of surprised that he kept going, but that he was so important to keep him going. But I think in the original Captain America movie, he was seen as the bravest person they knew, right? He was the smallest person that wanted to do all these things and really wanted to serve his country, and maybe they still saw that in him and wanted to do something with him,
hello from Brooklyn.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to talk more about it. We'll have a big roundtable, of course, later on when the rest of the guys get to watch it. So, can't wait for more.
Do we know how many episodes they're doing total?
Oh,
let's see.
What if episodes?
If it's anything with Marvel, it's going to be 8 episodes, but it's only going to be 6 hours of content.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's going to be at least 6 hours of content.
Oh.
Because that is every series that they've done so far on Disney+.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
I'm excited for the Spider-Man episode. That's going to be my favorite one. I have a feeling. But I think he's in 2 episodes.
Because he's like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and then he's like the last surviving member of their like universe, and like he fights zombies. The zombie episode's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel that one now.
So it looks like there's episode 1.1 through 1.9.
Oh, okay. 9 episodes?
So 9 episodes for season 1. Okay.
Yeah,
so
the
30
zombie
minutes each, which is like 6.5 hours.
Yeah, a little over 30
or 3.5 hours.
Nice.
So the zombie episode is episode 8. It appears.
Okay.
Getting
a little close
right
to
around Halloween.
Yeah.
There's a bunch that says, "What is this about?" So this is IMDb. So it's people are filling these in, I guess. So I don't know how they know these things. So that could change. But it looks like next week is possibly
T'Challa.
T'Challa. So I was gonna say Black Panther. And not Peter Quill was picked up by Yondu as a child and became Star-Lord. That's awesome.
And it's actually Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. So. And then and then the next episode is what if Loki presented himself to Earth governments as a king of Asgard using all his diplomacy? I don't know. That's we'll see. that sounds weird. I don't understand that, but
he's a foreign adversary.
Yeah.
Let's just talk to him like that. Hi.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. I have a good feeling about it. At least I hope so. And that hopefully they didn't spend all the good ideas on the first episode.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's what if. More to come there. All right. So
if I'm allowed to side rail, there also on Disney Plus this week there are 3 goofy shorts about the quarantine. It is how to wear a mask, how to binge watch, and how to cook.
Oh my goodness.
All 3 of them are like all together is like 9 minutes long, and it's like awesome. The classic goofy how-tos.
And
it is so good.
Those are probably the best goofy episodes when they do the or not what ifs, the how-tos.
The how-tos.
What if? And that was a big deal back in the early days of animation, I guess you could say, that era. Because the Looney Tunes did that as well, right? They would have these almost how-tos or just talking about almost like a documentary, like the game of baseball is, and they would do all these fun little things like that. But the goofy ones were just hilarious, with the. They take it really serious, but what you see on the screen is just this. Not to overuse the word, but goofy things that are happening.
I just wish they were longer. Each one's like 2 minutes, and it's like before with credits because it has like the classic dun, 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 at the beginning, with
Like a
Goofy.
minute and a half.
And it's like, well, that's like half the episode. But yeah, I was like, I just wanted to see more, and it was just like they were all just so short and so over so fast. I was like, man, I want to see like one big like 9-minute one or something.
For sure.
But maybe they'll do more.
I'll have to
Maybe
check
if
those
they're
out.
popular, they'll do some other ones.
Quarantine Goofy.
That's awesome.
And if they say that the characters in the parks can't wear masks, show them the episode. Just like, hey. And in the wonderful world of Mickey Mouse, too. Like, Mickey and Minnie both wear masks. And you're just like, hey, they're canonically wearing masks. Make them wear masks.
That's great. Well, I'll have to check that out. There's also some new Chip and Dale cartoons as well, or animated series that look a lot like the original. And it's not Rescue Rangers. It's more like the original Chip and Dale.
They don't talk in it.
Yeah, they're just
I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't get into it because I was like, I can't focus.
Yeah,
it's just gibberish. I was like,
yeah,
I love Chip and Dale, but I was like, I can't. I'm just excited for the live action movie if it ever gets made, because they're doing a live action Rescue Rangers, but it's gonna be like a Roger Rabbit thing.
That'll be cool. Yeah,
and it's John Mulaney and Andy Samberg as Chip and Dale.
Okay, yeah, could be good.
Yeah,
awesome. Well. Yeah, lots to come, it sounds like, and we've of course got some other Marvel shows coming that we've heard about. And Marvel's is or Miss Marvel. Oh gosh, Miss Marvel coming out.
Miss Marvel.
Beginning of the year, and we got a date for something else that's coming in November. What was it?
Hawkeye,
I believe that was right. And,
oh my gosh, Hawkeye's coming out this year.
Yes,
like
there's so much Marvel.
Yeah.
And then of course we have a Spider-Man movie coming, and
Which
so
may get delayed because Let There Be Carnage got delayed by 3 weeks.
Oh. So, yeah, hopefully, we really haven't heard much else about Spider-Man. So yeah, that's a good point.
They're releasing merchandise without releasing a trailer. Like, come on.
All right, so that's TV and movies. A couple more things, Disney. Before we talk about the Starcruiser, I promise it's coming. So Disneyland and really Disney announced that the annual passes are coming back. So everybody's been wanting to buy annual passes, and they said they're coming back, and we've got this new program we're going to do at Disneyland, and it's called Disneyland Magic Keys. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but basically there's like 4 tiers, and they start at $399 for
the cheapest one, right?
Yeah. So these are called. Did I say what they're called? They're called Disneyland Magic Keys, right? But there's the Imagine Key, $399 or $19 per month for 12 months. So that's the interesting thing is it is a monthly payment. Now I don't know if that's just for California residents. I think it might be, because that's how it is for the Disney World tickets, is that you can get it. Usually the annual pass is you can do a payment plan if you live in Florida. So,
okay.
But it's called the Imagine Key. So it's reservation-based admission, and all of these are reservation-based admission. So that seems like that's sticking around for at least another year. To one or both theme parks select days of the year. So that's like the lowest end. You get discounts. Enchant Key is at $649, so it almost double the price, which
$40 a month.
$40 a month. It again looks the same. Select days of the year. I don't really know what the difference.
You probably get more days.
But it's probably
Disney
more
has
days.
a blackout system.
It probably says it down here. So it's more days. So the top level is Dream Key, which is probably more days out of the year, and you get a bigger discount. It's up to 6 park reservations holds at a time is what it says. So that's also a difference too. The first 2 levels you can only hold 4 park reservations. The next 2 levels, Believe and Dream, you can hold 6 park levels reservations. So $13.99 is probably where the Disney World tickets are going to begin for annual passes, I would imagine, because of the number of parks and it's Disney World. I mean, it's expensive because that's close to the same price as what it is today, right? For an annual pass is around $1,000.
They're bringing them back, but it was somewhere around $1,300.
Yeah. So I imagine they'll do something similar.
Because it's 4 parks, 2 water parks, free parking.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, and I guess the key is not to use the word magic key, but is that the different levels get you a different number of days, and that's what they had before, right? Gold and platinum and all those
Yeah.
different ones. But
I always get so confused when people say keys because Disney, when they train us, they
oh yeah,
set us up on 5 keys. That was
oh no, we lost him. So yeah, they have these different keys to Disney and sorry, you're
efficiency,
back
and
now,
that's
Winchester. Go ahead.
yeah. No, that's fine. Did I cut out at
You
any
did a little
point? Do I need
bit.
to
Sorry, I
repeat
was trying to
anything?
fill in. So yes, go ahead and
Oh,
repeat.
we're good. So Disney operates on 5 keys. Sorry if you have to rehear this, but there's safety, courtesy, inclusion, show, and efficiency.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of operate on a day-to-day basis. But everything's under inclusion because we're trying to be more
Yeah.
inviting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So just hearing keys throws me around.
they're reusing that word.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good news is the passes are coming back. What's funny is they have the annual pass holders have a special preview of the Ratatouille ride, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, who has an annual
Which
pass anymore? So, I mean, there's some people that still have them. I think Ryan still has his for a little bit longer. So he would technically get to sign up for one if he still has it. But
I don't know if it's pass holders or if it's a DVC.
well, he has both. But I think it's
both.
pass holder
He's covered.
for this one. But yeah.
So we're getting a cast preview. So I get to ride it in
cool.
August, or I get to ride
That's
it
awesome.
later this month.
That's
nice.
great.
Yeah.
I've
So-
watched the Paris version
Paris
of it.
one.
So
It's
I'm
a clone.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing's like riding the ride, right? So
Exactly.
should be
First-hand experience.
cool. Lastly, and we'll move on to the Starcruiser, is that the Magical Express was announced that they've announced that it's going away at the end of this year, and they're going to have some other service, right? So just recently, Mears announced the service that begins January 1st, I believe, and you make a reservation, and basically you reserve a seat on a bus, and they can take you to your resort, and they release the pricing, and we won't really look at that, but it's close, but a little bit more than paying for an Uber for most families. If you have a family of more than 4, it's probably cheaper to go with Mears. But if you're a smaller family, it's probably cheaper to Uber, I think. I don't know. It's kind of weird. You have to figure
Will
out.
it be
like,
more magical though than taking an Uber?
I mean, as far as it looks right now, like okay, so Mears ran Magical Express.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's their Mears buses, but now it's not Disney Magical Express. It's just this transportation. So it's Mears Connect, I think is what it's called. So it's not, as far as I know right now, as far as what they're saying right now, it's not going to be the same where you got to watch this little cartoon or this information about Disney World, like you're beginning your vacation. It's just going to be a bus.
Oh no, cutting costs.
Yeah. Well, and it's
Yeah.
not Disney anymore, right? So
Yeah.
it's interesting. Did you all ever ride it? I don't know if.
Yeah,
never
I
did.
did it recently. November of last year. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to ride it when it was not as popular. It was easier to get on, and it was just, and especially before we had our son, it was easier because if you did have to stand in line, it's just us, right? But if you have a kid, it makes it even more difficult because they're ready to go, and but it's gotten crazy at the MCO.
Oh. Yes.
It's this crazy line. You wait in, and the nice thing is you reserve it. They pick up your bags. They put the bag on the bus. Now, before COVID, they put the bag on the bus. They take it to your room. You don't even have to touch your bags. In fact, you can't if you put the little tag on there. And it was a great service. And then you get on the bus and they show this video, and it's great. So that's gone away if you haven't heard. And they've got this new thing. So I think it's good that they're offering something. I mean, it stinks that you have to pay for it, but then again, it's like they didn't have to offer it for free, and they've got to make money. Yes, they make a lot of money, but the cost to pay employees should be going up as well. Hopefully. I'm not gonna ask you.
It's $14.50 for full-time, part-time,
Yeah.
and it'll go up to 15 right after the 50th.
So they're getting away with a lot of free type things, you know. And
bus drivers make 17 minimum.
So I mean, I can't blame them, but again, we kind of moved to Uber or Lyft or just like a rental, you know, just because it's so much quicker just to jump in a car and go, you know, instead of waiting. So, and then the train has been delayed. That's supposed to be coming.
What?
Yeah.
They had some issues for that part of the. And it's almost like they were trying to get everybody excited about it and get everybody to buy into it, and they're like, "Well, we may do that later." It's like, what? So
it's going away.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob Chapek.
Yeah.
I was gonna say chapstick. Thanks, Bob Chapstick.
Bob Paycheck.
It's a different Bob.
Oh, I haven't heard that one before. Let me write it down. Let me write it down. I'll tell my girlfriend.
So we'll see. That one was always weird to me though, because it was going to Disney Springs, and then you'd have to figure out how to get over to your hotel from there. So I didn't like the idea of that. So
it's not that bad. The buses are pretty reliable.
Yeah,
I mean, I did it today.
I know, but you got to carry your suitcase and everything. So, anyways, all right. So that's it. Let's move to the. We've already been talking for 48 minutes, so let's go ahead
to the Rancor in the room.
Talk about the Rancor. Yeah.
Oh no, we've been trying to advocate against Rancor teeth at the Savi Sabers. We always tell them, it's like, you realize how many Rancors they have to kill for all these teeth? Don't do it.
That's probably my least favorite, by the way, thing that you can attach to the. I don't like.
And they're just like, oh, they're synthetic. I was like, so they're selling you crap?
Oh, gosh.
Get away from it.
So, but anyways, so we're talking, of course, about the Walt Disney World Galactic Starcruiser, or the Halcyon is the name of the ship. That's what cracks me up about Galaxy's Edge. Anything
Everything
to do with
has
it.
4 names.
It has like 4 names, right? Of course, there's Star Wars Land, which is not right, but you know, there's Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire Outpost, Batu,
Black Spire Outpost, BSO, the Trilon sector of the Outer Rim. Let's see, what else is there? I don't know. I'm from Galma. There's also Surabot. There's Pika.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can live underground and aspire. Yada yada yada. And so I was like, yeah.
So
it's a lot of stuff.
So
also with the Galactic Starcruiser, it is the star line is called Chandrila. There are advertisements playing in the restrooms.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's just like, fly with Chandrila, and it's like the cutest thing.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, that's kind of like the I just lost it. The other ride at Hollywood Studios. It's not in Batu. The
Star Tours.
Thank you. So like when you go to that ride, it sounds like you're actually getting on some sort of cruiser type thing, you know?
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Traveling thing, and it sounds like this travel agency or whatever. So that's pretty cool.
And the travel agent is Ali San, who is an ex-girlfriend of DJ Rex.
Very cool.
I learned that in the bathroom the other day because there are advertisements.
Very good. So we had heard some details about it a while back, but now we got really a whole lot more details about it, and I'm super excited about it in some ways. I mean, the obvious thing to not be excited about is how much it is, right?
Yeah.
I think that the sticker shock has been a real thing for everybody in seeing this. A lot of people I've talked to that aren't Disney nuts, that are Star Wars nuts, though, they're like, well, what Star Wars fan has this kind of money, you know? And they spend so much on their merchandise and the collectibles, and they don't have that kind of money, you know? He said, we're not Trekkies. So those are the higher echelon geeks, I guess. But I don't know. It seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds super cool, right? But at the end of the day, you're paying a lot of money to cosplay for a couple days and pretend.
But the thing is, you have to provide your own clothes.
Well, and I'm sure, and they have already said you can buy them at shopdisney.com.
Yes. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, yes, I mean, to your point, Winchester, by the time you get done getting yourself there, getting yourself dressed, if you really want to like go full tilt on this, I mean, you're going to probably spend way more than $6,000.
Yeah.
For 2 days, which,
Yeah.
Chewbacca better be tucking me into bed, and there better be Jawas like putting out my clothes in the morning and stuff.
Yeah. So, for those that don't know, this is a 2-night cruise on a pretend spaceship that is very highly themed. They have an itinerary. Your food is paid for, drinks are paid for, um, activities. It doesn't sound like you have to pay for any extra activities. There's all kinds of character encounters and adventures. I'm sorry, I'm reading that a little bit, but and it's super immersive. There's characters that are walking around supposedly. Ryan commented, talked to him this week, and he said, it's probably going to end up like other things that Disney does, that they have all of these things that they say are going to happen, and maybe it happens the first couple weeks, and then they start pulling back a little bit, because it that's a lot to kind of control and do. I think that's where it comes. If you really think about it, it's like they have to control all these people coming around, and they've got to control the guests too in some ways, because the guests are going to come in with these crazy costumes in some ways, and they're going to have all these ideas of how they're going to interact with all this, and then they get a little crazy, So, but
well, even the itinerary made it sound like there would be like story moments of the day. So it's not going to be like, you're getting bothered at breakfast, or you're heading to the bathroom or back to your suite, and someone's going to come run up to you and want you to smuggle something. It seems like there's going to be like moments where it's like, that's when the performers are going to be like, mingling with you at designated windows throughout the day, and not just, you got a whole cast of people that are on 24 hours a day, doing all this stuff.
In some ways they make it sound like you're walking around the ship, and you might see somebody, and you might do this weird cool thing, and be able to crawl through these secret passages or do different things in the ship. And but then you look at the itinerary, and I'll read a sample itinerary real quick, and for the different days. So you arrive at 1 p.m., which oh my gosh,
they gotta clean the hotel.
I know, but man, 1 o'clock, and then you sit for 15 minutes, and then 1:15 to 1:30 you take the launch pod to the Starcruiser. It's like, okay, you just walk down a hallway, or what's going on? But and then there's an orientation for 30 minutes, and then you have about 45 minutes to do whatever. I guess you can go to your room, and then there's light refreshments from 3 to 3:30. There's sabacc lessons at 3:30 to 4, which they say
people need sabacc lessons.
People
don't know how to play.
I don't know how.
I can teach you, but people don't know how to play.
I bought a set of for Ryan for his birthday one year, and he's actually played it. He said it's pretty fun. They had a bunch of them on sale at this store called Ollie's, which is like overstock stuff that they can't sell anywhere. But they had a ton of them, so I got that for him one time. But he said it's pretty fun. One thing about the sabacc is that it's supposed to be holograms that you're playing the game with. So that'll be interesting to see what that looks like. I mean, they show a picture of it. I don't think it'll look exactly like that, because it looks like it's kind of in front of you, but maybe, I don't know. It's probably more of a touch screen. Yeah. Touch screen. So that's 3:30 to 4. I'm not sure what muster is. Any clue what muster is from 4 to 4:30?
Muster around the ship? I don't know.
Okay, maybe so. Captain's reception from 4:30 to 5.
I know the captain.
Okay.
I know the captain.
Okay.
And say,
like the character or the person?
I know the person.
Okay.
I do not know the character, but I know the person.
All right.
So that's all I can say.
They want you to dress up for these kind of things, for the receptions and all, and we're just being there, which I mean, that's the way to do it, right? You find some sort of costume. Since Galaxy's Edge is opened, Batu's opened, they've said you can only wear certain types of things. You can't look exactly like a real character, right? But it sounds like they're wanting you to dress as whatever you want. I think that's going to change.
If you want to come as a Twi'lek, come as a Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Well, there was an asterisk on the page that said some restrictions. There will be some restrictions. So I don't know if you can have like a full-on mask. They probably don't want you coming on with a mask and hiding your face. I don't know.
Yeah, the idea is they don't want you to look like a crew member and say,
Mm-hmm.
yes, come this way. And then all of a sudden you're like getting beat up by somebody that's dressed up
You
like
can
a...
throw it on an airlock into
Yeah,
the parking
exactly.
lot.
Throw... Ah! So,
in the grass. Wait a second.
yeah, and then there's a dinner featuring live music, which I think is really cool.
Oh,
I mean,
Gaia. We finally get to meet Gaia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
So in Oga's Cantina, Rex plays a lot of music by Gaia,
Okay.
who is a Twi'lek.
Yeah.
And right afterwards, there's the advertisement for the Halcyon. And it's just like, oh, you can see her in the Halcyon. And it's just like, what? And so there will be an actual physical embodiment of Gaia, and it's not
That's
just
great.
a voice anymore.
That's
And
cool.
if you go on Spotify, you can actually find some of her music and listen
How
to it.
about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
Oga's Cantina, Rex's playlist #1.
That's awesome.
Find it.
One of the things I just thought about that this is starting to feel like is the movie The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Because even the rooms look like The Fifth Element in some ways that they're in.
Have your
And then-
multi-pass and
And
go.
then, yeah, you gotta have your multipass, your data pad or whatever, and then there's this singer and there's this dinner and all this. So that's kind of funny. I did see one thing that it said that speaking of data pads, is that some experiences will play out on your data pad. So I don't really know what that means, except that it probably gives you like hints of where to go and do things.
It'll be like, oh, here's a mission, do it.
Yeah.
And then you'll interact with someone, and it's like, okay, good, you did it.
Yeah.
Here's some credits that you can arbitrarily spend with Hondo, or do this, or do that, or.
Yeah. So 7:15 to 7:30, Outer Rim Regalia.
Ooh.
I guess that means you're taking this journey out on the outer rim, and you look out the windows, you can see things that are on the outer rim. Which is cool. I'm really interested to see how well that works with the screens.
Yeah.
Which we're also getting that with Space 220, the new restaurant at Epcot that's supposedly going to open sometime.
In the next 5 years.
Yeah, I really hope it does. That idea of that elevator, it looks like you're going up into space, sounds pretty thrilling, and in some ways, so I'm excited for that. But I hope it happens. It was supposed to open last summer, I think, is what originally.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So then they pop in here. It says unexpected story moment. So that to me sounds like it could happen at any point. Like you're just walking around the ship, and all of a sudden somebody walks up and says, "Prove your mettle to join an elite smuggling ring." So they met, yeah, you want to join our smuggling ring, and
No,
probably, yeah, kind of gearing you up for going to the next day to Batu, to ride the Millennium Falcon. And then it says hide a stowaway to help the resistance. So maybe that's something to do with Rise of the Resistance.
Chewie.
Just don't hide them in your room.
Yeah, but it does have a time on this. So between 7:30 and 8.
Now, see, I've never been on a cruise.
Yeah.
But some of these itineraries, they just seem very short. You have
Yeah.
15 minutes to enjoy this,
Exactly.
and then 30 minutes to do that. And it's like, geez, really? All these people are going to get funneled through this thing in 30 minutes?
Now, it's not a big ship, so Winchester.
It's 100 rooms.
Yeah.
100 rooms. Could be 400
rooms.
people.
Okay. Yeah, that's true, because you could have 4 in each or more.
You
But
have
on
like
average,
8
it would be
people in the
400
largest
people.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
So yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to happen. But you've got a lot of people that maybe want to be there to see the show, but don't want to be part of the show.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
So maybe
And they said
not.
that in that one Imagineering Roundtable video that got released, that you can be all into it if you want to be all into it, or you can just kind of enjoy just kind of watching others. You don't have to be part of the story if you choose not to.
Yeah.
The price is the same, regardless. But
Exactly.
And you can enjoy some blue shrimp.
Ooh.
Yes.
Because they released photos of some of the food, and it's called yab shrimp,
Oh.
which they also mention in Batu, but it is like bright blue shrimp.
I've seen them, and they keep pimping them like, look at this exotic, and I'm like, it's really just shrimp with food coloring, guys. It's not, it's not really alien food. It's
Yeah.
blue dyed shrimp.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean-
they're trying, I guess. I don't know. So we've not been paying attention to the YouTube chat, and I apologize to our viewers in YouTube.
I'll pull it up now.
We have Vance and Ryan and Chris have all been in the chat, so thank you guys. Vance said he will pick up and drop off anyone at MCO or Disney for $50. So that's when we're talking about meters.
Have it.
And $40 if you use the coupon code iamGEEK. So
Wow.
so look up
Deal,
Vance
people.
Cope.
It's a deal.
He'll come pick you up. But he also says that talking about the Starcruiser, it's expensive and overpriced, but he still wants to do it. I agree. I still want to do it for sure. With it being overpriced, mostly it's overpriced if I were to go with my family. For my family to go, it would cost the same amount for a full week at Disney for just 2 nights, right? And that's hard to swallow. But if it's me as part of a room of 8 or even 4, it gets to be a little more reasonable in some ways, and maybe more fun. I don't know, but not because my family's boring, but because my family might not interact as much or be part of the story as much, right? But I could see going with like the iamGEEK crew and you guys and really getting into it, right?
I really want to, I'm applying to work there. I am.
That's
seriously.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great.
They're doing sessions for cast members, and for college program participants, they're like, hey, write a cover letter, fix up your resume, and apply. And then we'll extend you for an entire year to be part of opening team.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's great.
So it's just like, we're looking for storytellers. I was like, okay, cool. What connections do I have? 501st. Cool. All of my recognitions through the Disney company talk about me being a storyteller. Please look into that.
Yeah.
It's like, I love connecting with people. Go.
That's cool. That'll be cool. I hope you get it.
That'd be awesome.
Because then you can just sneak us on, and it'll be great.
I mean, if not, I'm still in the galaxy far, far away.
We could be the ones that get stowed away. You could sneak us all in. Okay, get your go. Right, go.
Go.
So Chris also tells us what a muster drill is. It's sometimes referred to as a lifeboat drill or a boat drill. Is an exercise that is conducted by the crew of a ship prior to embarking on a voyage. So it's kind of interesting because it's supposed to be like a cruise. It's not a real cruise.
Escape pods.
So it's like a simulation of if you did have to make an escape, and maybe they do tell you if there's a fire, this is where you go. But also they probably play off the fact that it's supposed to be like a spaceship, and
it's going to be a simulation of a simulation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be.
This is going to be you crashing down.
That'll be cool.
All right, now we know we've been asking you to use your imagination. So now imagine that there's an emergency on our imaginary spaceship.
Right.
Imagine you getting into this imaginary escape pod and escaping down to the parking lot.
I could also see this is something that gets dropped, because they're like, oh, okay, we don't have enough time for this,
Well,
I don't know.
See, I guess my thing is I kind of wish, because I mean it sounds really cool, and I mean I would love to do it, but the price point is such that I could see myself maybe doing this one time, ever.
It's a one
because the prices are always going up at the parks, and so I'm sure if I wait 10 years, this will be like $10,000 for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I just really sort of wish they had just built a Star Wars resort, dropped a lot of the interactive stuff, done up the themed rooms, the themed restaurants. I mean, they could have given a backstory to it. A cruiser crashed and the Jawas turned it into a resort. And you could have had like these really awesome rooms, the same kind of rooms that you're going to have on the Starcruiser. And I thought you could even, if you want to like make it a little bit more immersive or fun for the guests, you could have your window and you could choose. Like, I want to look at Naboo today, and then boop, and then like the screen changes, and now it's like you have a room on the planet Naboo, or I want to have a room on Endor, and just kind of have like that be sort of like the interactive element. And you can still have cast members as characters walking around and so forth, but make it so that more people can experience it, and then you could have those interactive things like the lightsabers and so forth, but almost make it like the Great Wolf Lodge, where you would pay an extra charge to do that experience if you want to do it at the hotel. And then if you are staying there and if it's broken, because things break, you're not going to be like, I dropped $6,000 and the
Yeah.
lightsaber experience isn't working today. Are you kidding me?
It's a $20,000 lightsaber that I can't touch.
Yeah.
Or look
Yeah.
at my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nobody asked for this crazy experience, right? It's really a great idea, but I think a lot of people would have been satisfied with a well-themed hotel or resort. Sorry.
Yeah.
And they would have still banked on this and just had these cool things that you could do. Like I was just telling my wife more about the oh gosh, it just left me the
Art of Animation?
no, the one that's in the woods. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name.
Wilderness Lodge.
Wilderness Lodge, thank you.
Mhm.
They have all of these things that you can do. I've never stayed there, but I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about how you can do archery, you can do canoeing, you can do all these different things, and a lot of other hotels have extra things you could do. But if they just did something like this, like you said, they would still do well, and
Yeah.
that's really
And you have
what
to
people
pay. You have to pay
want.
for that archery. You
Yeah,
have to pay
exactly.
to do a canoe. You have to
Yeah.
pay for those things, and it's your choice. Like, I don't really want to do that. Or, hey, two people on my party do want to do that. I'm going to sit here and watch. We'll pay for you two to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah.
there's so many people that would love this experience. That would
Yeah.
love to be able to do some of this stuff that probably aren't going to get the opportunity because it's just way outside of what they can afford. And then, if you're going to do a Disney vacation on top of that, I mean, Lord Almighty, how much are you going to drop? I mean, it's almost unfathomable.
It is.
I was going to say, not to add fuel to the fire, but the prices that were released were for the non-busy season.
Exactly.
Oh, I noticed that. It said weekdays.
That's
Weekdays
crazy.
next August. I mean,
no
what's
way.
going to happen in the middle of summer on a weekend? I don't even know how much the cabins are that fit 8 people. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, I was gonna say we only know for 2 people and we only know for 4 people. That's it. We don't know anything about.
Exactly. Well, 4 guests in a cabin, if you're
Is
wondering, it's around $6,000.
$6,000.
So,
Yeah.
which equals out to $749 per guest per night.
But that's
still
3
a
adults.
lot.
That's
That's
3 adults
crazy.
and 1 child.
It
And my
is.
kids are now at the level where my kids are now adults.
Yeah, if you're 10 years old,
so
you're
it
an
would be
adult.
4 adults for me.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be a little bit more.
Grogu is 50 and considered a child. Remember that. Remember that.
That's
That
true.
is true. That's true.
That's not.
How's he getting
but
in?
he's not Disney World. So.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my son is
18.
10, so I get to start paying adult prices now. So.
Well, I did some interesting math. If you want to hear some math.
Sure.
Yes,
I love math.
So if you're there for 2 days, assuming that's 48 hours, and assuming you're going to sleep 8 hours a night, you have 32 hours of entertainment that's going to be entertaining you while you're staying there. 32 into 6,000 comes out to $187 a person, which comes out to $46 per person per hour that you were there. So every hour that you were on the imaginary ship, each person in your party is paying $46 for that experience. A 1-day ticket to the Magic Kingdom at its maximum is like $159 for the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Same amount of time, which would be like a
12-hour day.
Well, yeah. It ends up being closer to like $10 per person per hour that you're paying. If you want to like quantify, because I do this sometimes when I go to the movies when they're like, oh, movie prices are so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like $10 a person, but it's a 2-hour movie. It's $5 an hour. If you're quantifying how much entertainment you're getting, $5 an hour. It's not too bad. But $46 an hour on the Starcruiser.
Yeah.
Per person. That's woo doggy. That's like 10. It's like 4 times as much as going to the Magic Kingdom for the day. Now, that doesn't include food. I mean, it's not like an apples to apples scenario, but if you're trying to figure out, like, is it worth the money?
Inclusive. It's all inclusive, though.
That's why I want to work there. Can't afford it.
Yeah.
I want to work there.
So Winchester has it figured out. He's going to work there. He's going to experience it and enjoy it every single day and be getting paid to do it.
That's
that
the way
is
to do it.
If I make it.
You'll make it.
If not, I am already in Galaxy's Edge. They do have advertisements for it. We've been wanting an open house. Give us an open house.
Yeah.
Let us just look at it. Okay, no photos, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just let us enjoy it for like an hour
Yeah.
and then shove us out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be so
So
nice. I pass it every day going into work, and there's a giant sign up front that says no photos. Even though as soon as they released the prices, there were three news helicopters. You could see them from Batu hovering over them. And just,
Really?
yeah, you could see, because the only park with a no-fly zone is
Mm-hmm.
Magic Kingdom.
oh.
You can, and the helicopters have been getting lower and lower every single day, trying to get a better shot. So, yeah, I always have to be like, oh, look at that TIE fighter. That looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Please look the other way
Oh, wow.
Ugh. So
because it's right there.
yeah, it's crazy the amount we pay to go to Disney World, and now this thing. People, and the
Mm-hmm.
problem is we keep paying because we keep complaining about it, but the problem is we keep paying it, and people keep paying it, and unfortunately some people are doing this instead of saving money for other important things, right? And as long as we keep paying these things, they're not gonna stop, you know. And I don't I don't know if people will go to this. I like to think that people will, but I also like to think that people will be like, no,
Oh,
I'm not
people will
Yeah.
paying for
go.
this. But there's going to be people that will do it, and they won't have any money to do anything else. But whatever, to each their own.
But to
Um,
your point, Catron, just real quick, what you
yeah,
had said
yeah,
earlier about, you've seen numerous people complaining about this. And a lot of times when, I don't know, when Disney announces they're going to redo Splash Mountain, right?
yeah,
You have a lot of fans that are upset about that. And then you have a lot of fans that that like that. And
yeah.
they're in support of that. To be honest, I don't think I have read or seen a single video where people are like, well, I think it's a fair price. It seems like everybody is
yeah,
just like their eyes are rolling back in their heads, like, "Oh my God, are you
yeah,
kidding me?" So I agree with you. I imagine that when they release the reservations, it's probably going to sell out for quite
yeah.
a
Oh,
few
yeah, for sure.
weeks, months, what have you, as all the super rich
Years.
people get to go. But I don't know. I just can't imagine a family that can take that one trip to Disney World going. Like what
Let's
you
go do
said there. I
this.
mean, we can go there for a week, guys, and
Uh,
you've never been to Magic Kingdom before, or we could just
but
go for 2 days and come back.
now, what I will say is that not every Star Wars fan, in fact, there's probably a large group of Star Wars fans that don't care for the rest of Disney World. So
Hmm.
maybe this is for them and not for us Disney pros or whatever, us Disney nerds, Um, maybe it's for them, but again, it's a lot of money. It's some,
Say, I'm the
I
weird
don't know.
in between where it's like, okay, because like 501st, very expensive hobby because it's volunteer work. So it's
Sure.
just like you're throwing thousands of dollars into a costume
Yeah.
to to work with Make-A-Wish or the American Cancer Society or just go to a convention pretty much.
Yeah.
All volunteer. It's like, okay, the average stormtrooper, just to make a stormtrooper, is about $2,000.
Hmm.
Wow.
I know people with like 17 stormtroopers
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
wow.
because like they work on MRIs or they're lawyers or this or
Hmm.
that. And it's just like,
Wow.
how? I know a guy who's a snow trooper who wrote the code for the FBI for when there's a red alert, it goes to all the agents. And I was like, how? And he's just like, money motivates me so much.
Hmm.
He's like, I am still living off of that government contract, and I wrote that code 20 years ago.
Yeah. And I'm
Wow.
sure there's people out there that will be able to afford this, but I feel like Disney's really banking on a lot of rich people coming
Sure.
there for a long, long time because it's kind of like what happens once everyone who's got the bucks have
Exactly.
experienced it? Are they really going to want to come back and do it again
No.
and
No.
again and again? And it's like, well, I can't do it even once, so
Yeah.
I can't come do it unless you drop the price or something. Which again, it's like if you had just done a resort, even if the rooms were $1,000 a night, I could justify us staying there for 4 nights for $4,000 more so
Sure.
than I could justify
Absolutely.
6 grand for 2 nights.
Yeah.
Um,
The whole
yes.
point of Galaxy's Edge, like the project name was Delos,
Mm,
which
mhm.
Westworld fans, it's an immersive world, anything can happen. this is an expansion of that. And
Yeah.
it's just like I haven't even seen the series. I've seen the original Westworld. And wasn't it like $1,000 a night for a
Oh, it
minimum
was
of like
super. It was
7 days?
only
Yeah.
for the wealthy. Yeah, only
Yeah,
the
it was
wealthy
always
could
for the
afford it.
wealthy.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, you're really playing into that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I was
Mm.
gonna say, I may work there, but I do not speak for the brand of the company, so I legally have to say that. But I do mean it too. It's just like,
Yeah,
wow, that's a lot of money.
it is.
And it's just like,
It,
okay, cool. But then you see all these tour groups going, they pay four
it's true.
thousand dollars a
That's
day just to have a VIP tour.
Yeah.
And it's just
which is
like,
really cool,
yeah, it's really cool for them. I mean,
but ugh,
yeah, but they can also go on a tour multiple times and experience something different each time.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
seems
that's true.
pretty set
It
path.
is.
Like,
Yeah,
spoilers,
it's pretty
Kylo's
set.
gonna be there. There are posters. He's on the poster.
Well,
Kylo's gonna be there. Chewbacca's gonna be there.
yeah,
Stormtroopers are
and
gonna be there.
some characters you don't know,
Yeah.
new characters.
Gaia, a captain, a mechanic.
S-
There was a casting call for a Togruta that like flirts with people and plays the guitar.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's like a first time traveler, and
yeah.
uh, and it's just like, man,
So
I'm sipping a martini
this,
that this Twi'lek made me,
yeah,
but also, how much money in the pot am I?
yeah, yeah, really. So
Like,
the second day itinerary won't go too much into detail. It just
Mhm.
doesn't look that great. Like there's lightsaber training.
And you're up early.
You're up early, so you get
7 a.m.
breakfast. It's great. You get to go to you get to go to do these things at Batu. Like you get to ride the
Hmm.
Rise of Resistance. You get to ride Smuggler's Run. You get to eat there, and you go
Mhm.
shopping.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
now it says in the fine print that you get a ticket to Disney Hollywood Studios, right?
Yeah.
So what's not clear is like, does that mean you get to go do whatever you want? Because they have some very set things of like,
Yeah.
you have to go do these things at this time, and then you get back on the Starcruiser at like 12:40, which
The ship's leaving. You got to
the
get back
ship's
before the ship
leaving
leaves. I mean,
because
you don't want to
Yeah,
get
there's a
stranded.
shuttle. There is a
there's
shuttle, and it
so
is piloted by a female Rex droid.
yeah,
That is all we know so far. That is all
but
that is public.
so but then the afternoon itinerary back at the ship looks kind of boring
Model
to me, honestly.
shipbuilding.
Yeah, I was like, what? And the
Yeah.
droid racing looks stupid, honest, or sounds stupid to me because
We need droid
it's
fights.
20
Droid
minutes,
fights.
and I like we have a droid. It's awesome,
Hmm.
but that's what it's gonna be. I think it's
Yeah.
just those little droids, and it's like, oh, okay, you know, lightsaber training could be cool, maybe, but the
Make
model
it a
ship,
little bit longer.
yeah,
Make
Yeah.
lightsabing trainer like
so
45 minutes.
so I
Hmm.
wonder if, and then there's a sabacc tournament getting closer tonight, but it doesn't show that there's any more shuttles. So it seems like your only time is like this really brief window at Batu, even though you
Hmm.
get a ticket. So then my question is, how do they wrangle everybody in? Like, keep you in this area?
They're probably gonna have people. They're probably gonna give them a specialty pin,
Yeah,
Hmm.
just like they do with
wristband or
Savi's,
something.
and they're gonna have people at the tunnel or by Toy Story who
Oh
are
my
gonna say,
gosh.
"No, you stay in this area."
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I think you have magic bands too, right? That are special for the hotel. So you'll probably have something that looks different than what everyone else
Yeah,
is wearing.
sure.
Um, and they can probably
Comlinks.
locate you at any time. Hang on a
Oh my
second. We
gosh.
got somebody. We
So,
got somebody heading for the tower. Stop
oh
it.
my gosh. Yeah. So
Get back to the
that
shuttle,
whole
sir.
restrictiveness of it is just kind of like,
But the
ugh.
thing is, that's an itinerary. Not everyone follows this.
I know what I'll probably want to do because I did the same thing when I go over to like Harry Potter. I like to just kind of sit there and just kind of be in the environment and be like, this is just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just sit here and just enjoy being immersed in this
Oh yeah.
cool world that's
It's
been created. So if I'm on the ship, it's like, you know what? I kind of want to have a drink and just kind of sit here and take it all in. This is
that's a
just
good
wild,
point.
you know? I don't want to be like chop, chop, chop,
And that's
quick,
what
you
it
gotta be over
is.
here. Oh my
It's a
God, you
bunch
gotta be
of
over
chop chop
here.
chop. Yeah.
It's like I just want to sit here and kind of look out the video window and see if a Star Destroyer flies by, and I don't know. I just kind of
Yeah, they're
I want to
probably
hang out.
banking on people not wanting to do everything, right? Like
Yeah,
it'll be kids doing droid racing competition maybe or something.
yeah,
Not everybody. But again, it doesn't sound like you can go to the parks that much. It's a lot of little things. When I tried to sell this to my wife, I was like, our 20th anniversary is coming up in 4 years, And she said, but
Mom, Dad, this is
it's only one park. Uh, yeah, and really not even like a full day at the park. She's like, no.
And how much is
It's
it
kind of
again?
like the guy on Office Space, and he says, "Does anybody ever ask you, are you having a case of the Mondays? Are you ever having a case?" I won't say what he says, but
Yeah.
heck no, But she was not interested. So it's weird. Some of it's kind of weird, but the whole idea of just being super immersive is cool. I mean, just going
Yeah.
to Batu, to your point, being in Batu is the most immersive recording.
YouTube.
Oh
Oh
man, that's not
no.
good because
Don't
that's how
worry.
it records.
Hold on. We'll cut it for a second. Hi. Welcome.
Well,
Welcome
okay,
back.
it reconnected. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Hooray!
sorry folks
All
if
right.
you got disconnected. We're back. But anyways, it's immersive enough. You can get enough out of just going to Batu.
Yeah. Well, another thing I'm wondering too, and again, I have not gone to Batu, but I think, Catron, we've talked about this before, like
Yeah.
on other shows, like when we talked about Mandalorian and so forth, the whole idea of having Batu locked into this one time period of the First Order and the
Yeah.
Resistance, and why can't Mando be there? Well, man, that was a long time ago. I kind of wonder too, even with like the Star Cruiser, is people that have the money, like us, or that don't have the money like us. We're more like classic trilogy. I want Darth Vader on my ship, and I want to be smuggling with Han and stuff like that. It's like, no, it's Rey and Kylo. Yeah, I'm not really a big Rey and Kylo fan. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I just wonder
Yeah.
if they are gonna discover that a lot of the people with the bucks, they
Sure.
kind of want to see and hang out with their classic character friends and be
I
threatened by Darth Vader and not so much by
I guess
Kylo
that's
Ren.
the kind of the advantage of the Star Cruiser, though, is you're not just at Batu. Now you're still in that time period, right? But there's
Mhm.
still this opportunity to see other characters because you're going to other places, I guess. But still
Sure.
not Darth Vader. I guess that's the point.
Canto Bite. They
Yeah, that's
mentioned
right.
Canto Bite in the advertisements.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, you fly with Chandrila. Chandrila is its own planet.
yeah. I don't
Um,
know. So,
yeah.
all right. So it's weird that it's supposed to be this 2 nights, 3 day. Oh, not 3 days, right? It's just 2 nights.
I think it's
Two nights,
two
It's
2 days.
not
everything.
even,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the last day you get up for breakfast and go home. You don't even do anything really. Um, it, it's really short. It seems like, and they could have done better. I think your idea about the hotel is would be a great way to do this differently, right?
Hmm.
Now,
Make it more accessible. 100%.
And I
we
would think they'd make more money because you could have more rooms. I mean, you could have 10 times as many rooms, and you could charge
yeah.
as much or
Whatever
more
you
than like the
want.
Grand Floridian or the Riviera. I
Oh,
mean, you could charge a lot. You could charge a lot for it because
yeah.
it's really themed up and and themed to the hilt. The most themed resort that they've ever done.
But
Just
that
not
wouldn't make it
6,000.
exclusive. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Exclusivity. That's why T-shirts and pins sell out in seconds because oh no, there's only 100 of them. Got to make it now or got to get it
Yeah.
now.
Mm.
And then you find out 3 weeks later, oh, there's 5,000 more.
Well, I just worry that it sets a precedent because I know, Catherine, you were talking about what other things could they
Yeah.
possibly
Yeah.
do like this, and it's like, yeah, I know, but I mean, if they built one, I don't know, a haunted mansion one or a Tower of Terror one or something like that. I
Tower
mean,
of
okay, is
Terror.
that going to be $6,000? No, this
Yeah.
one's $10,000 because there's real ghosts in your room or something. Oh my
Yeah.
Lord!
Yeah.
And it's exclusive.
It's
You are
exclusive.
Pepper's ghost.
I,
Enjoy.
yeah.
You're haunting other rooms.
I
You
think
get to
there's a
haunt
Yes.
your
lot of
guests.
cool things they could do, to spin off of this. It's kind of like, what if, but, um, but I can immediately think of like 3 other, I guess, IPs that they could use, like Frontierland. They could totally do a Westworld type
Westworld. Westworld.
thing, and it would be awesome. Like you have this heist or something, like a bank robbery or something, or all these things that could happen in the Wild West, that people would totally get into. And again, they wouldn't have to be Disney nerds. They could just be people that are
Oh,
really into
boys.
westerns, and be able to experience that thing, and then they wouldn't have to do VR really in some ways,
Yeah.
except they could do these like what do they call it, like a draw, a shootout
Mm-hmm.
kind
Oh
of thing or whatever.
no,
Um,
the AI is going to become sentient.
and it,
Don't do that.
but it could be a hologram that you're shooting, because there was actually this arcade game. I only saw it in one place, but this was a long time ago, like in the maybe 80s or 90s, probably 90s. But it was kind of this hologram thing, and it was in an arcade cabinet, and you did this shootout with this hologram, and it
Is
was
that what Marty McFly plays in Back to the
no, it
Future?
was more advanced than that. It was
Mm.
Oh
it was really
wow.
cool, but this was a long time ago, But it was that kind of thing, It was just a little hologram. I could see that kind of thing being part of
Yeah.
that. Haunted Mansion, like you mentioned, that was one of the
Mm-hmm.
things I thought about. Like that, just I think I read the other day that somebody has a like a Airbnb type thing with a haunted house that you can stay in that's Haunted Mansion themed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People would totally get into that.
Well, we were talking Jungle Cruise, and I
Yeah,
mentioned about if they do sequels,
Adventureland.
they could tie into the Adventurers Club. You could
Yeah,
have like you could
A
stay.
sea hotel.
Yeah, you could, and
Oh,
then you could
sea
hobnob with
resort. Mm.
adventurers, and you could
oh
go on an
yeah,
adventure yourself, and go into the jungle, and oh,
oh
yeah,
for
you could do all
sure.
kinds of neat things. But at that price point, it's just
Yeah,
like, whew, I don't
yeah.
know, man.
The next expensive one's going to be at the bottom of Seven Seas Lagoon, an underwater hotel right in front of the
Oh
Magic
man.
Kingdom.
Well, the thing I was talking to, like with my family, is that back in the day, the Living Seas, right?
Yeah.
The original Living Seas. You got into the hydrolators, which my wife did not like. I loved. And she was like, I know, but it was just, it's not a real elevator. I'm like, shh, you had to use your imagination. And it didn't cost you $6,000. But you went down to a sea base. You're in your, now you're at the sea base. You're like three
Yeah.
miles under the ocean. And that was a really cool, sort of immersive sort of thing. When you wanted to leave, you got back in the fake elevator and you went back up to the surface and stuff like that. I mean, that is really wild. I mean, and that's kind of what's going on here, but with, obviously more
Screens.
interactive and more story elements. But it's like you kind of already have done this. And, it was part of the price of admission. I mean, they did the Star Trek experience years ago where you got beamed up to the Enterprise and then you got onto a runabout, and then that connected to Deep Space Nine, and it wasn't $6,000. It's just, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I think that's what they should have done. Like you said, is made this themed hotel. They could have, and for these other experiences we're talking about, they could just do a themed hotel and
Mhm.
still do great.
Oh,
Have an
yeah.
Adventureland themed hotel, and maybe they don't want to do that. Maybe that's not what they want to do. They want to
I
have
would
this
pay so
immersive
much
experience. But
money for a Jungle Cruise hotel where everything
I
just
mean, it
goes
could be
wrong.
Adventureland, so it could have these different segments, right? But
There's
yeah,
water leaking
yeah,
in your room. Why is the
Like you
floor
did,
wet?
like
It's all part of the
yeah, it's
experience.
part of the experience.
yes.
So, and Vance Cope says in the comments on YouTube, the game was called Time Traveler. It was an arcade game called Time Traveler. And if you'll look it up, you'll see this hologram. I looked it up while y'all were talking there, and that's it. That was the game. It was
Was
really
it like a
cool.
tiny hologram, or was it like a big
I think
hologram?
it was a tiny hologram. I
I think
feel
I
like it
do
was.
remember that.
I
The
feel
guy
like it
came
was
out and
bigger.
he would
Yeah.
talk to you and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
remember
So
that.
you'll have to look it up. It was pretty cool, but very cool. All right, well, we've gone quite a long time. I've had fun talking about the Star Cruiser. Again, it seems really cool.
Yeah.
Overpriced. Too many little things that you're having you do. It's and too much money. But um,
If we
we'll
do some
see.
jobs for Job of the Hut, I'm sure we'll be able to,
Maybe
you know,
so. We'll get enough credits to be able
get
to.
enough credits,
Cheap.
do a little smuggling.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yep.
So, anyways, anything else
Winchester,
about the
man,
Star
good luck
Cruiser?
on getting that job. That'd be amazing.
I
Yes.
hope
Good
so. I
luck.
have an
You'll have
info
to tell
session
us.
on it next week, so
That's great. I hope you can.
sadly I can't share anything besides that fact that I have an info session for it next week.
Well, that's all right.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well,
Yep.
thanks, guys, for being here.
Absolutely.
I appreciate
Anytime,
you,
man.
Ray and Winchester. This has been episode 204. Thank you, everybody, listening to the podcast and watching the live stream. Be sure to check us out on social media. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as iamGEEKshow, all one word. You can join our Facebook group. Just search for iamGEEK-IAM group. And if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you can listen to this and all of our other episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, wherever. And if you want to support the show by wearing our merchandise, you can get a hat or a shirt. You can go to shop.spreadshirt.com/iamGEEK. And if you can't remember any of this, then just check out our website at iamGEEKshow.com, and you'll find all the links to these things. But thanks for listening. Again, this has been episode 204 of I Am Geek. We'll be back next week hopefully with Ryan and Chris or some other show. We'll see. Have a great week. Bye. All right. We're still on YouTube. Thanks, everybody on YouTube for hanging out. I saw Ryan and Chris and, of course, Vance there. Thank y'all for being there.
The Street Boys?
They popped in and out. I don't think they're there still.
Okay.
Popped in to judge. Let's see how Catron's doing here.
Yeah, I know.
I got a few notes for
Vance.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk to you directly for a second, Vance. Okay. I had Gideon's today. It was very good.
Oh, I forgot
very cool experience. Very, very good. Okay, continue. Sorry.
I love Gideon's.
Vance told us once before that you can go to Gideon's offsite, and it's the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ryan and Chris gave me a hard time.
That. Yeah. He was saying, he's like, there's one over in like Winter Garden, and there's like never a wait. And I was like, I know, but we're here.
I know.
I waited 20 minutes. I did not have to wait the 5 hours. I waited 20 minutes. It was so good. But I was at the Disney Springs location, so.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So, everyone was at World of Disney getting 50th merchandise.
That's cool. There's some cool stuff. You said you spent half your paycheck there?
Yeah, I'm wearing the Spirit jersey.
Very nice.
There's a nice little pin that I've got right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. It's very iridescent.
Yeah.
And then I bought a button-up shirt, which is around here somewhere. But...
Is it the one that has the castle on it? Did you get that one?
No, I'm gonna get that one soon. They haven't released that one yet. They haven't released it yet. But that just gives me 96 vibes, where Michael Eisner had it painted like a giant birthday cake.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah. I remember that.
I just want a shirt with that on it. I was like, can we have the 50th on one side and the 25th on the other?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because they sell Magic Bands right now with the 25th castle on it.
Oh, that's right. I've seen that.
Nice. Yeah. I was like, how are you still proud of this? It was like the worst thing you've done.
It really was. It's a big joke,
It
right?
really was. Yeah.
You're like,
I gotta get myself some 50th because me and Disney World, we're like the same age. I was born I was born in 71, so I'm 50. And so when I turned 40, I got like a bunch of like vinyl. It was like a Vinylmation that came out. It was
They're bringing back Vinylmations.
I saw that and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get one. So I'm excited for that. But I just want to make sure that there's still stuff there because it seems like people are buying it like crazy people.
Yeah. The stuff online sold out, but the stuff that's in stores still there.
Nice. And it's like an 18-month celebration.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll bring more
all the way
things
into next year. Yeah. So.
They're rolling it out in waves. So like this was the first wave of merch. So like the next wave will probably come in September.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be like new Spirit jerseys and like the castle shirt, like you said. And then October, that's when everything's just gonna go AWOL. Yeah. And just everything's just gonna get thrown at you at once, and you're like, oh look, there's the $60 ears. Oh look, there's that. Which the thing is, after I went to Springs today, speaking of $60 ears, I was just sitting outside of Oga's Cantina, did not go in, but there were people waiting in line, and I just look at them, and I see the bag they're holding. They're holding like 3 Club 33 bags, and I just look at them. I was like, oh, you've got money. Because like you have to show that you have over $1 million in your bank account. Yeah. And then it's like $33 or $33,000 initially, and then you have to be able to sustain it because you're a member for life. You don't get to leave.
That's crazy.
Because it's a 10-year wait list. I mean, once you're in, why leave?
Right. Oh man.
So
I saw they're gonna
we
have the
completely
back
forgot about Club
scratchers.
33.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we completely forgot about those people.
Yeah. No,
We're
well,
gonna.
they're part of those wealthy. They're part of the one percenters that'll be going
Yeah.
to the hotel. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But
It
also
just
imagine all the
starts
celebrities they'll
starts to
get to
set
go
up.
for free for promotion.
Yeah.
Oh,
It just
Tim
sets up
Tracker will be there.
precedent, you know. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
the last time I was down, we were at the Riviera, and the Riviera is beautiful, and I was just like,
It
God,
is.
how do people afford to stay here? Um, but at the same time, the place was packed, so
Yeah.
I was
I
like, well,
know.
somebody
I
does,
know.
but
That's right.
um,
Let's.
but at the same time, and I think I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I mean, I know there are people that save up for that one trip, or that
Yeah.
they
The
go
once in a
like
lifetime.
once every 10 years or
Yeah.
something like that, and it's like, okay, I get it. You saved up, and you're going to splurge, and you're going to stay at a really nice resort, and you're going to do it up right because you saved up for it. 2 days. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
lot to like
But
bank money for like years, you
there,
know, and then it's just gone in 2 days.
there's also a lot of people that have DVC in those sites or those hotels you
Yes.
mentioned. That's how they're also staying. Or you can rent the points, and it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the question: is like, is DVC going to have some sort of? Can you use points for this hotel, this
No,
experience?
I'm probably
no,
not. Yeah.
straight up no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
don't even
say.
know yet,
You
but
can use
no.
all your
I know
points for your entire
Ryan's
life
hopeful.
of having DVC.
Yeah.
Here's a keychain. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Now get
Yeah.
out of my face.
Yeah.
It's just that with they released that pricing structure and the rumors of, the paid fast pass, I was just like, oh my
Oh, they're testing
gosh.
it in Paris right now.
I know. And I'm just like, here we
Yeah.
go. It's
No.
starting where you
Which
have to.
someone asked me about that today,
Is it
and they're just
really?
like, yeah, they're just like, is FastPass coming back?
I
I was
don't
like,
know.
currently our FastPass lines are being used for DAS Pass. And they're like, what? I was like, Disability Pass. So I was like, we'll let you through. And I was like, also, I pick like 3 families a day, and I just send them through the FastPass for Falcon.
Nice.
I was like, go. The line is 3 hours long. You're a party of 6 or less. Just go. And they're just
Nice.
like, oh my gosh.
You're the
Because there's
best.
so many Easter eggs around. I was like, okay, like I'll pick like one family in the morning and one family in the afternoon, and
That's
just be
cool.
like, okay, like I'll give you a little tour of the area, show all the little Easter eggs,
Yeah.
like look, and like I'll cut character a few times, like that X-wing that was used in The Mandalorian in the show, like that exact one. Dave Filoni sat inside that thing, and they're like, what? And it's like, okay, it's like keep moving, keep moving.
Okay, get on the Falcon.
Like,
Forget
get
the
on the
That's
Falcon.
awesome.
conversation. Yeah. That's
Thanks,
cool.
Bubs.
Yeah.
But also, it's been fun recently because MegaCon is this week. So
Hmm.
I've been getting scheduled for like 12-hour days rather than 8-hour days.
Oh wow.
And like celebrities are like around every single corner.
Oh,
There's like,
wow.
okay, Jodie Benson, Ashley Eckstein, even though she's there all the time. Eckstein. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Uh, Adam Savage was there this morning.
Hmm.
Gaten Matarazzo, who was Dustin in Stranger Things, was there. I talked to him. He's really, really nice. Um, there are rumors that John Stamos is coming this weekend because Bob Saget, Dave Coulier, and John Stamos are all coming for like a family or not family Full House reunion. And I was gonna
Family
say All in the
Matters.
Family. I was like, that's not All in the Family.
Family matters.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Family time.
but there's room because John Stamos is a very, very big Disney fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Celebrity Lounge that is owned by HP, that is in Galaxy's Edge, is not open because HP has not opened it yet. So they're just getting VIP tours to take them around. It's like, okay, let's see what happens. Who do I get to talk to this week? Hi.
Vance says rumored $50 for Rise of Resistance Fast Pass if it happens. Can you imagine? But also tempting, given how hard it is to get a boarding pass. Both times
Hey,
I've
I have a
been.
95% success rate.
Oh, I've had 100%. Both times I've been, we've gotten a boarding pass. So I haven't had a hard time with it. So,
Okay. I also go.
but this
I
was
was gonna say I go a
October.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm there every single week, and even when I don't have a reservation, I'll just be like, hey,
But at the same
Eddie?
time, if that's what they're gonna do, it's like why not go back to like the A ticket, B ticket thing? Why even
Yeah.
have general admission if I'm now gonna have to pay an extra $20 to get on this or an extra $10 to get
Well,
on that? It's
Japan does
like,
a thing where like you pay for shows and character meet and greets, and
mm-hmm,
like there's a separate ticket for rides.
yeah,
That's
And I
weird.
was like, okay, that's kind of smart. I was like, okay, like rides are a little bit more expensive, but like it accompanies everything else. You can
mm-hmm,
do everything if you pay for the rides thing. If you just pay for like the characters and meet and greets and all this other than the shows, it's a separate cost. And it's
yeah,
cheaper. 'Cause it's like it's you're experiencing less. Plus Tokyo is just not owned by Disney. So
sure.
they're doing everything right. The Oriental Land Company knows what they're doing. Disney, they're trying.
Vance made a good point. He said if it's your once every 5 year trip
Mm-hmm.
and you don't get to the boarding pass or you don't get on that ride you wanted to ride, and then you're waiting another 5 years to try again. So if you could pay for it,
Yeah,
then you'd pay for it, right?
Mhm.
I
So,
guess it just seems like there was a.
ugh,
I remember the days back
yeah,
when you just stood in line and
yeah,
there was
And
no
there is
fast
a standby
pass.
line. There is a
Yeah.
standby line. They just don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
yet.
Well, they use it, but they use it for the virtual queue.
Right. Because,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't think they'll ever go to that because it always
But
breaks down, right?
exactly, that's the whole reason. It's just
Yeah.
like, hey, this is one of the most complicated things that we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Oh no, the system broke, or
Yeah.
it over rotated 1 inch.
People got stuck on the drop.
But it's amazing how much that
Oh, I can
happens.
talk
And it's
about that.
like
Yeah,
I'm
people did get
watching.
stuck on.
Yeah.
People have been getting stuck so much. Like 3 weeks ago, two groups were stuck in there for like an hour.
Oh my
They
gosh.
Yeah.
got comped their entire days.
But I was watching, if you watch the, behind the
It's
attraction
crazy.
stuff on Disney Plus, I mean, they talk about, capacity, we got to get this many people through, and that's
Oh,
always a thing.
efficiency? Oh,
And it's like,
100%.
why build a ride that's going to be like, oh, well, it's cutting edge and complicated. Yeah, that's great. But if it's not going to be reliable, then, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
I remember being at Disneyland and the Cars ride would just be breaking
Uh,
all day long, and the lines would just be out the
Oh, that's
wazoo.
test track.
And everyone's there for the Cars ride. And it's like,
right.
sorry, it's
You
not.
want to know why? It's the same ride as test track. It's a clone with a different skin. But you want
Yeah.
to know why that breaks down?
Why?
You want to, it is an HP program that runs on a Mac.
Fix
That is
it.
why it breaks down.
Get a PC.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know. It's just sad to think. I mean, it's just gotten, to me, it's just gotten so complicated with,
Yeah.
having to make your reservations in advance. I mean, I understand now for the parks because of
Yeah.
COVID and
Well.
capacity, but
Oh.
you got to get your fast passes in advance. You can have only this many, and then this, and then the other. And now with the potential rollout of having to pay for fast pass, it's just
And
like,
it's probably going
wow.
to be a tiered system where it's like
Oh, I
Rise of the
know.
Resistance is going to be $50,
No.
but you're only guaranteed that one day during your entire trip, even though you're like 5 days at studios. And then it's going to be like, oh, Small World, that's $5. Enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And then what if I go on Rise of the Resistance and it breaks down? It's like, oh, great. Well,
Then you get a
fantastic. Great, my
return
$50
time.
back?
Yeah.
Well,
You get
no,
a
we'll
return
get you the
time and they
first
just
day
let you
tomorrow.
back through.
Yeah, I don't, it's just, I don't know. I kind of yearn for the days where you paid your admission, you went in, you stood in line. Yeah, Space Mountain is
And that's
120
what
minutes.
all
You
cast members
stand in the
want.
line. You just stand in a 120-minute line.
As a cast member, we do not want Fast Pass to come back.
Mm,
We do not want fast because it kills efficiency.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got to get so many people through at a
Yeah.
certain time. They write it down. They write down percentages. They're like, if we run at 100% efficiency, we can get X amount of people in an hour.
yeah.
They write it down every single hour. And it's just like, hey, this is what's going on. But like that's everything. It's just like, hey, efficiency kind of important, but also safety is more important. So if people are getting stuck on the ride and we have to be courteous before we're efficient. There has to be a good show before we're efficient. And this all-inclusive thing, it's just like, okay, efficiencies last for a reason. It keeps breaking down. And what they need, especially with the Halcyon thing, if it breaks down and the Halcyon people are on it, oh, it's gonna be
Yeah.
Well, that's
all
what
gonna
I'm
hit the fan.
worried is, especially that first week. Is like, what if I go on and like all of a sudden you get the blue screen of death on your gigantic view of space, and it's just like
that'd be
reboot,
terrible. Oh
reboot.
my
My
gosh.
God.
What is error 404, Dad?
Yeah.
What is it?
Thanos is attacking. Don't look, son. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Oh well.
I trust
Catron's like,
him.
I'm
That's the
tired. I
same.
got to edit this.
No, you're fine. No, it's depressing, because I'm like, okay, so at some point they're going to outprice everything, or it's just not going to be fun to go because of all these things, right? So, when is that point, and what is that point for my family? And my son is 10, and that's usually the age when it's like not cool anymore for the kiddie rides, whatever. But he's totally bought in still,
Sure.
But it's like, well, we're going to be able to afford it. We went on a different vacation this year to go visit my parents. We went to Maine, and we all said that was one of the best vacations we've ever had. Because we went and did all these excursions essentially, right? We went on 3 different boat rides. We saw all this cool stuff we've never seen before. Ate these things we never ate before, and never eaten before, and it made me think. I was like, well, could we do something else? And I said that, and they're like, no, we can't do. We've got to go back to Disney World, even though that was really fun. That's every other year,
Yeah, we just have to wait for Tron and Guardians to open, because I believe Guardians will be a much better ride than Rise.
Yeah,
it is a reverse launch indoor roller coaster. It is also one of the tallest indoor roller coasters, and it's supposed to be like Hagrid's, where it's a show roller coaster, and the cars move.
It's gonna be
they
wild.
rotate.
The good thing about all these new rides and things they're adding is that they're people eaters, right? Hopefully, and it's not people eaters, but crowd eaters, right? So you've got to put people somewhere, and that's the problem.
Beauty and the Beast opens up on the 15th.
Things are down, that people can't go in. Like having nothing in Stitch's Great Escape or whatever it was, the
they
alien
painted
encounters.
The walls differently, and it made me so sad.
Oh, having nothing in there means
they painted orange triangles on the wall, and I was like, this isn't the same.
Yeah, that's one less place for people to go, right? So they're going to go some other places.
And they recently opened
all this
up.
Others closed.
Let's see, they're opening up a lot of the shows now because they're bringing back equity actors.
Help. Yeah.
So, but like Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, that's going to be a little while before it comes back because you have to train for it again. Like as soon as you can't just perform the show, you got to train.
People had to find other jobs, So.
And they're rewriting Fantasmic.
Yeah.
Or so we've heard, because they're trying to stay away from Pocahontas. And I really hope they update the cherry picker that is Maleficent. It's like, please give us a Disneyland's version.
Yeah.
I know we can't fit another ship in that little lake, but we can do something. Please give us the day Fantasmic comes back is the day that Disney has truly healed, because it is the best show on property. Even as jank as it is the best show.
That's
Happily
true.
Ever
It's
After
really
is going by the wayside.
I know, like that was unexpected,
But we're getting Enchantment and we're getting Harmonious. Harmonious cost $250,000 a night to make or to show.
And it has an eyesore during the day, right?
Giant barges. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But the thing is, like, Savi's Workshop makes $250,000 a day. So like Savi's Workshop alone pays for Harmonious.
Oh yeah, I mean they're not hurting for money. I mean
no, but at the same time they have to. There's a lot of upkeep and a lot of people to pay for those types of things too. So it's understandable that they're raising prices, but at the same time it's like we're not asking for all these new things. Just chill. It's like
Walcott.
Yeah, not my favorite.
The Moana thing's supposed to be coming soon.
That's true. The water experience or whatever. Yeah.
I can talk about this forever though.
No, it's fine. I wish they would have continued to do
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
I was disappointed. It could always come back. Yeah. Who knows?
That
in the
Citrico,
future, next 10 years.
That restaurant at Grand Floridian is themed with Mary Poppins now, so that's kind of cool. But but whatever.
The wave is shut down
Yeah,
in temporary.
it's being rethemed, right?
I have no idea.
I think
just
that's
know
what I
it's shut
heard. I don't
down.
remember. Anyways.
And I know that Earth 220 is going to be third party. It's not like Disney
Yes,
owned. It's
yeah.
owned by like the
Yeah.
Delaware company.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Yeah,
people are
that's kinda
complaining
weird.
because they don't like the Delaware company.
Oh,
They're
no.
just like, yeah, we're Disney cast members, but we're third party. So
It's
they're like,
a little weird.
Delaware doesn't treat its employees right.
Ugh.
And like as soon as they announce it, they're like, Delaware is looking for people for Epcot. And it's like the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, right outside Mission Space. And it's like, no.
So that is opening October 1st. I forgot to mention that. It's Vance had said something in the chat, but I'd forgotten that's the date that it was. But so hopefully it does okay. It doesn't have the issues. But again, you're only talking about a bunch of screens, which could go wrong. But you're also talking about that elevator, which they could make a B version that doesn't do all the crazy stuff, you know.
Yeah. Now I don't know. I don't think there's screens in the restaurant.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah,
there was.
my brother, his marketing company did some work with them, and he was saying that the space, the outer space, and the planets, they're actually there. Yeah, like it's very similar, sort of, to the top of Spaceship Earth. You know, when you see the astronauts or the shuttle and stuff like that, there are elements that are in there with you. Because I was like, wait a minute, I thought they were supposed to be like HD screens
that's
and
what
stuff.
the pictures show.
And
I could see like one thing being projected.
Yeah.
There might be projections, like projections on the wall, or traveling through space.
I'm excited to see what it is. Either way.
No, I want to do it too, but we'll see.
Because they're using that technology for the Starcruiser, they have to. Because
now the Starcruiser is definitely supposed to be, like HD screens, but
whereas the Resistance screen, 40
kind of like
screen.
kind of like with the Marvel Hotel, right? That Starlight Bar or whatever, where they show, like, you can see New York and Avengers Tower, and like Spider-Man swings by, and there's
that would be cool.
Thing like that. So I'm imagining you'll be, like looking out your window and you'll see, Star Destroyer or the Falcon fly over and stuff like that, which should be wild. One thing I noticed in the itinerary, we didn't talk about it, but in the standard cabins, you have your window,
a small window
with a Star Wars experience. But if you look at what it says for those more expensive ones, it's an enhanced Star Wars experience.
So it's like poolside view versus park view.
Yeah. Yeah. So
maybe
I guess you'll get space, and maybe every once in a while a ship will fly by. But if you got the enhanced one, maybe you'll see a dogfight. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a video. You can't give everybody a cool video. I get the dumbed down one because
you get to pay more money for that. You get to pay more money. You don't have to. You get to pay more money.
It's a privilege.
It is a privilege. Oh, well. Anyway. Well, that's fun. Well, thanks again, guys. We'll go ahead and say goodbye to YouTube. Thank you all for watching. YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's see. Hold on. I got to click the right button.
Oh, no.